welcome back to another video. I'm so glad that y'all are joining me today. When y'all are seeing this, it's going to be Memorial Day weekend, so happy Memorial Day. I hope that y'all are all having fun out by the pool, on the lake, at the beach, whatever it is that you're doing. Hopefully I'm out there enjoying my pool as well while y'all are enjoying yourselves, and I'll be catching up on other YouTube videos and all of that good stuff also. But anyway, thank you for joining me. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jennifer. I am 46 years old. I've been doing the WW plan since September 2019, and I have lost to date 72 pounds. I had been kind of stuck, but the scale started moving again, so I'm coming on down a little bit. I'm almost to my goal, which is super exciting and kind of scary at the same time. Then it makes me think, should I lower my goal? So yeah, so we'll talk about all of that in my weigh-in update video, and you know, I kind of have a flow to my videos as well. So I do my grocery haul videos. In that grocery haul video, I will usually say what my meal prep is going to be for the following Sunday, and then on Sundays we film these meal prep videos, and then I do a weekly vlog where I show how I incorporate all of these meals into our week. You know, my husband eats the dinners and everything. Of course, I make my breakfast for myself to take to work, and my fruit bowls to go along with my sandwiches and all of that good stuff. So I do kind of have that little flow. So if you have a question about something, go back, check out the previous video or maybe the previous two videos, and always check down in the description box. There's so much information in these description boxes for you. There's a 5,000 character limit, and on my meal prep videos, I maximize that out, and I have to go in and take out some words and stuff because, you know, I try to type out all of my recipes and at least link it, give a lot of information. All of my affiliate links are down there, links to my Amazon store, links to the Fetch Rewards app, links to my Yvette if you want to order some great activewear. Everything that you could possibly want is going to be down in the description box below. Check it out. I do spend a lot of time, you know, making sure that I have as much information in there as possible for you guys to answer questions. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. I upload at least 3 times per week, sometimes 4, sometimes more, but I'm always doing the grocery haul, the meal preps, and then the weekly vlogs, which is kind of my normal flow, just to show everything that I do. And also follow me over on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram handle on the screen for you here also. That is a great community. There's tons of people, Weight Watchers, calorie counters, macros, whatever it is that you want out there on Instagram that you can follow, that's going to have great ideas, tips, recipes, you know, things that they do to help them be successful on their weight loss journeys. And I post on there daily, typically on my stories and stuff. The weekends I might not post as much as I do during the week because I am doing most of my filming on the weekends because I do work a full-time job. And also I have a Facebook group for anybody that doesn't have Instagram or wants to join the Facebook group, which I highly suggest to join the Facebook group because I am trying to type up my recipes and put out there so that they're easy printables for y'all until I get my website going, and it is called Finding Our Way. I will leave the little icon here on the screen for you so that you can see what that looks like, and there is a direct link to that down in the description box as well. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay guys, first of all, I just wanted to go over what our meal prep is going to be today. So we are going to do chicken skewers, and Charlie is going to put those on the grill, and it's basically just going to be chicken. We're going to season it up good and put some tropical fruit on there, the dough that has the pineapple and the passion fruit and stuff in it, and he's going to cook those up on the grill. Along with that, we are going to have corn on the cob and baked sweet potatoes. So that's going to be one meal. Pretty much everything is going to be 0 points except for the sweet potato for the blue plan. And I kind of lucked out. I got like 3 large sweet potatoes and 3 smaller ones in my grocery pickup, so Charlie can have the larger ones. I will eat the smaller ones, and I will just kind of have to figure out the points. It will probably range from 4 to 6 points depending on the weight of those potatoes, so we will just see how that plays out each night whenever I make my baked potato. Okay, for my next meal, I'm going to do the pound dropper jalapeno popper chicken biscuit casserole. So I do have some chicken that I've already filmed going in the crock pot so that I can get that shredded up for this. I am making a few adjustments to make it a little bit lower in points possibly, but there are a couple of things that I'm doing that may make it higher in points because she used either chicken bacon or turkey bacon. I'm going to use regular bacon, and I'm using almond milk instead of skim milk, and I'm going to use my little Laughing Cow cheese wedges instead of the third less fat cream cheese that she calls for. But anyway, that is the second recipe, and then of course we are making cookies. So anyway, that is the plan for the day. Of course I would do my breakfast, I would do my fruit prep, and all of that stuff. That is the plan, and so let's get to it. I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken in the crock pot for the jalapeno popper biscuit casserole, I guess is what it's called. This recipe here is what I am doing. Somebody suggested this. This is a pound dropper recipe, so we need a couple of cups of skinless, boneless chicken breast cooked and shredded, or you can use a rotisserie chicken. Y'all know I just like to go ahead and cook my chicken up in the crock pot. We're going to put this on high for 4 hours, and then hopefully it will be ready to throw together. And we were going to make this jalapeno popper bubble up. So I'm just going to spray the inside of the crock pot with olive oil spray as usual, and then let me get my chicken breasts. I'm using 3 out of the freezer. They're just kind of soaking in some warm water to de-thaw a little bit. And so I've got my 3 chicken breasts in here. We're just going to season it up, and then I'm just going to put enough water in there to cover it, and I'm going to put it in the crock pot on high. So of course we're going to go in with some salt and pepper. I'm going to do some salt, just season to your liking. And this recipe did not say how to season your chicken. It just says you need some chicken. So, you know, I'm just kind of doing my own thing with my seasonings. And hopefully it'll be good. So we're going to salt and pepper. And then I'm going to do my 2 favorites, which of course is the ground cumin and the chili powder. Before I started doing all of these WW recipes, I never even used ground cumin, which is kind of funny. Or really even chili powder. Well, to be honest, I didn't really do a lot of the cooking. Charlie did most of it. Oh, that's not even open. And then I'm going to add some garlic powder. And honestly, you can just add whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to do a little onion powder. And I'm going to add just a little bit of cayenne pepper. This is a jalapeno popper thing, so, you know, it's going to be a little spicy, so we're not going to overdo it. But we're going to put just a little bit on there. And that's going to be it. I'm going to cover it with some water, and then we will get it in the crock pot. Well, this is the crock pot insert. We'll actually put it in the crock pot. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to pop it in the crock pot, and we're going to put it on high. Okay, here we've got it in the crock pot. We are going to put it on the slow cook function on high. I'm just going to put it on 8 hours. I don't know exactly whenever I will get around to putting together this casserole, but I don't want it to cut off or anything. I think 4 hours is going to be plenty, but this is the way we're going to do it. I do have it sitting over here on this table because Charlie will use this counter where he likes to do his prep, because I'm fixing to jump in the shower. But I wanted to get that on now so that the chicken will be ready. I should have probably put it on a little bit earlier, but here we are. We'll just come back and we will shred this chicken whenever we are ready to put together the casserole. Guys, I'm getting ready to jump in the shower. Charlie's getting ready to start his prep. He's holding Nico because Nico would not get off the countertop out of the middle of the food. But this is what Charlie has to prep today. So we are going to do the corn on the cob. I will cook it inside, but these just need to be washed. Well, not really washed, but there's still some little, what are those called? Silks. Yeah. So there's still some little silks in the corn, which I can't stand. So I don't know if Charlie will wash it or if I will and get those out. It really doesn't matter. That's not necessarily part of his prep. That's just something that has to be done. We are doing some chicken kebabs. So he's going to dice up probably 3 of these chicken breasts, I would say, and then we will put those on the skewers. Let me get the fruit out so I can show you what we're going to put on the skewers with it. So this is the fruit that we like to put on the skewers. Now this is in fruit juice. I am not going to count points for this because by the time that it cooks on the grill, I mean, they're really dried out, and I'm just not going to fool with it. You can if you want to, because this is in 100% fruit juice. Obviously, we're not going to use the juice. We are just going to pull the fruit out. Hopefully there's enough. Sometimes I buy 2 of them, and then sometimes I have 1 left over. So this time I just bought 1. But hopefully there's enough fruit. If not, then Charlie may have to make a run to the store. But we're going to dice up the chicken. I'm going to season it up somehow, and then we will put this on the skewers, and then here are my 3 peppers, just for my normal thing. Look how tiny that pepper is. That's my biggest complaint about online grocery ordering, obviously, is the produce picking. I have a nice tomato though for my sandwiches. I have my blueberries that I'll wash in the vinegar. And then here is my cantaloupe and my pineapple. So we're going to have sweet potatoes along with the corn on the cob and the chicken skewers. So that's going to be one meal, which I know I probably just explained all of this in the intro, but here we are saying it again. So Charlie, some of these potatoes, I try to tell him to pick out like, you know, the same normal size potatoes for baked potatoes, but there are 3 like larger ones that I will give to Charlie, and then there are 3 smaller ones that I will use for my sweet potatoes since I count points and he doesn't. So these 3 would be mine, and then these 3 will be Charlie's. And that way I'm not eating too much sweet potato because that does count points. You know, I don't want to count more than like 4 to 6 points or eat more than 4 to 6 points, which is probably about what these are. And the way I like to do my sweet potatoes is take just a spray butter and put in there and some cinnamon whenever I warm them up the night that I eat them. So they're one of my favorite things is the sweet potato. I love sweet potato fries. I love sweet potatoes, sweet potato casserole, anything sweet potato. But anyway, I'm going to jump in here and try to get a shower. It is nice and pretty outside. And I don't know if we can get our work done or take a break and go out there and check out my float and try to float in the pool for a little bit. So we'll see if that happens. So I'm going to try to see how quickly I can get ready. Like I've been saying, I have to figure out ways to speed up my getting ready process so that we can speed up the meal prepping process, so that I can float in the pool for an hour or 2. But anywho, I'm going to be quiet. We're going to roll into Charlie's prep now.
I had a feeling you'd come back and save me from all those lonely nights and heartbreaks. And I feel misplaced without you. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to? Never wanted to end it like we did. I guess shit happens for a reason, but it's like something feels different from back then. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to? Honestly, I'm open wide. I don't feel like waking up without you by my side. I still see your silhouette. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to your bedroom? I had a feeling you'd come back and save me from all my slip-ups and mistakes. And I'm just pointless without you. Why don't we go back to, why don't we go back to? Never wanted to end things like we did. I'm sorry for all those promises I made you that I couldn't keep. But it's like something feels different from back then.
Okay guys, I just had to show y'all our little pick from the garden today. Charlie got 5 little strawberries, and these are from some little strawberry plants that we had planted last year, and so him and I are gonna eat them. It's not very many. That's the only bad thing about like not having a whole lot of stuff. Like we've just got 2 little small beds. You really don't get enough fruits and vegetables to like use and make a meal with. Do you think, Charlie?
Not yet.
Which last year, some bunny rabbits or squirrels or something ate all of our tomatoes. We had all of these tomatoes on the vine. We were so proud of them. I went out and took a picture of them and everything. The next day, something ate all of them. Every one of them. They were gone. So Charlie does have some like fencing that he's going to try to put around it. I don't really know when he's planning on doing that, but he probably needs to do it soon if stuff is already starting to grow. But these just came back from last year, so we were super excited to have our little strawberries. So here's us a little snack for later. But I washed them with my blueberries. I'm just rinsing them off right now and thought that I would show y'all real quick. Okay guys, and for the corn, this was already kind of done at Kroger. I'm just going to rinse it and kind of get the silks off of it because I can't stand those little silks. I don't know if you can see them, but there's several on there. I think I can just pull them out with my fingers. I'm not going to wash this in vinegar. I don't feel like it needs it, but I'm just going to rinse it and try to get these silks off. Are we going to cook all 8 of them? Maybe you can eat 2 one night or something. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and cook all 8 of them. We really only needed 6, but actually I'm gonna have to remove these sweet potatoes, I think. So we have the sweet potatoes over here. Charlie's already washed these. All we're gonna do is cook these in the microwave. We're just gonna poke holes in them and microwave them until they are done. So I'm just gonna kind of set these to the side. We will microwave those in a little while, and then that way I can get the corn ready and have it a spot to sit in.
I know I have to lay in the bed I made. I know I let you down, and that was a big mistake.
Okay guys, so before I do my fruit bowls and stuff like that, I'm gonna go ahead and get the chicken seasoned up so that Charlie can get that on the skewers, and he's gonna go put those on the grill. So it's just the chicken and the fruit, and let me show you the seasonings and stuff I'm gonna use for the chicken. Y'all know I like a lot of seasonings. So here we go. We're just gonna do salt and pepper, of course. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Charlie has diced the chicken up. I hope this is enough chicken, Charlie. It doesn't look like that much. Maybe it's because it's bigger pieces. So Charlie's already diced up the chicken. We're just gonna go in with some salt and some pepper. And then we are gonna do, I did not pick this one out. Charlie thought that we should add it, the Montreal chicken seasoning. I kind of forgot that we had it. You know, I just kind of go with my basics that I normally have. Actually, this isn't even open. It smells pretty good. So we'll put a little bit of that on there. I don't want it too heavily seasoned. We've cooked this before literally with just putting salt and pepper on the chicken, and it's been good. But now I like things so much spicier, I'm afraid that I won't like it if I don't do like my normal stuff. So we're gonna do the ground cumin and some chili powder, of course. We're gonna go in with a little garlic salt and a little garlic powder. I don't know why I'm doing both, I just felt like it. And I thought we would throw a little paprika on this one. I actually thought that I had some tahini, which this isn't even open either. But I couldn't find it, so maybe it went out of date and I had thrown it out or something, because I thought that would go well with the fruit. But anyway, I couldn't find it. So we're just gonna add a little paprika. I'm gonna kind of stir it up and see if I think it needs any more. Maybe not. I don't want it overly seasoned, but we want her seasoned enough. Okay, I actually think that's pretty good. Everything is kind of nicely coated after stirring it up. Again, I don't want it overly seasoned, but I just want it to not be flavorless. So we are gonna let Charlie put together the skewers. We've kind of had these soaking in water over here so that hopefully they don't burn, which we've cooked them before without soaking them in the water. So we will see how that works. But yeah, he's gonna put those together while I start working on my fruit bowls. We're gonna throw together our fruit bowls. I have my pineapple, my cantaloupe, and my blueberries as usual. So let's get these done and get them in the fridge.
Let me feel your love again, 'cause I've been running round in circles screaming out your name. Take me to a different place, just the two of us, and we can stay up all night, kissing under streetlights, doing what we want to, doing what we need to do, staying up all night, everything is alright. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you. Let me be that someone who can hold your hand. I don't even know if you can understand how you make me feel. I got you in my head. Oh, I wanna be with you, oh, I wanna be with you, be with you.
Okay guys, here are my completed fruit bowls, my 7 yogurts, my tomato that Charlie sliced up for me for my sandwiches this week, and of course my diced bell peppers. So I got all this done, gonna stick it in the fridge, and then I think we're gonna go ahead and get the sweet potatoes going in the microwave. Those will take several rounds and minutes to cook, and get the corn boiling on the stovetop. And Charlie is cooking the chicken kebabs on the grill. Then I'm going to go ahead and put together the 2 ingredient dough, which is really 3 ingredients. The way this recipe is, it has egg whites in it as well to make, so that I have that ready so that I can just throw together the jalapeno popper bubble up, whatever it's called, casserole, and get that going in the oven here soon. Guys, here are the chicken kebabs. Charlie just threw these together, and then he is going to take those outside and put these on the grill. If I can remember and have like a break, I will try to run out there and get a little clip of them cooking on the grill, but if not, then you will of course see them after they are done. So we have the sweet potatoes going in the microwave. Charlie is cooking the kebabs on the grill. I've got this huge pot here. I'm just going to cook the corn in here. I know I could probably put it in full and cook it on the grill and stuff, but sometimes I actually like it better just boiled. I don't know why, and I just don't want it to be overly dry if we were to cook it on the grill, since we're going to be reheating it this week. So I got this huge pot, which I think I paid like $25 for this from TJ Maxx. It's Country Kitchen is the brand, but it is huge. So I'm just going to fill it up with water, pop my corn in here, maybe a little salt, and we're just going to let it boil for a while until I feel like it is soft enough. And then what I'm going to do is put it in a bowl. I'm going to salt and pepper it and put some butter in there and just kind of let it set and soak that up so that it will have that good flavor hopefully soaked into it for the rest of the week. And then if I need additional butter during the week, then I will just add some of my spray butter to it. Okay guys, so I have all of my corn added into the pot. I'm just going to turn it up on high. I am going to sprinkle just a tad bit of salt in there. And I am going to salt and pepper them once I get them out and put the butter on them. I'll show you how I do that. It's really delicious. I'm going to put the lid on to try to bring it to a boil quick. And then once it starts boiling, I'll just reduce it and just let it set and simmer for, I don't know, however long I feel like is necessary. At least probably 30 minutes or so. Okay guys, I am getting ready to start on the jalapeno popper chicken biscuit casserole from the Pound Dropper. And I did make some modifications to her recipe, although overall I still came out to, I think, the same amount of points that she has for the blue plan. So if you make it exactly the way hers is, green says it was 7 points, blue 6 points, and purple 6 points. So I did modify a couple of things, and then mine still came out to 6 points because a couple of items I think were less points than hers, and then I used regular bacon instead of turkey bacon, which is more. So overall it evened out. But it calls for 4 ounces of a third less fat cream cheese. Instead of that, I'm going to use 4 of those light Laughing Cow wedges, and then half a cup of skim milk, which I'm just going to use half a cup of almond milk, a can of Healthy Request cream of chicken, which that's what I've got, a 4-ounce can of diced jalapenos. I have that. Instead of the 1 ounce of shredded Monterey or cheddar cheese, I'm just going to use 1 ounce of my fat-free either cheddar or mozzarella. I'm not sure which one I'll use. I have both. They'll both be 0 points. It won't matter. 2 cups of skinless, boneless cooked chicken breasts, which those are still in the crock pot. I think they are done. I still need to shred it up. And then for the biscuit ingredients, we're going to basically make the 2 ingredient dough, which hers is 1 cup of self-rising flour, half a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, and 2 large egg whites. And then for the garnish, she has 8 slices of alfresco chicken bacon or 6 slices of turkey bacon cooked and torn into pieces. I'm just going to use my regular Oscar Mayer bacon for that. And then just a tablespoon of the diced jalapenos. You just kind of reserve that out of that little can. So first of all, I'm going to go ahead and get this dough mixed up and get it into the little pieces that it's supposed to be in so that it is ready. And then we will shred the chicken and start assembling the rest of the casserole. I'm excited about this. I'm hoping that it's nice and spicy, you know, like we like it. And then with that, I'm just going to do some sheet pan veggies with the Monterey steak seasoning on it as the side. So that will be 0, so that will be a 6-point dinner. And then my other dinner will kind of depend on the sweet potatoes. It should end up to be about 5 or 6 points as well. But I'm going to bend you down here, and we are going to make some 2-ingredient dough. Well, 3-ingredient really, because she calls for egg whites. I'm just going to follow it the way that she has it. But yeah, when I plugged it all in, I think it's funny because some of my things were more and some were less, and it still came out to the same amount of points. So Again, you can always modify recipes. I just personally don't like turkey bacon, so I feel like it's worth it to spend the points on the bacon that I love. We are going to use 1 cup of the White Lily self-rising flour. So I'm going to get that measured out. I already have my yogurt measured out. So there's 1 cup of that. And I know I've said this before, but I do store all of my flour and cornmeal and everything in the freezer. I just like to put it in these bags so that it doesn't like get flour or cornmeal everywhere. This other bag in here is all-purpose flour. It's almost empty, but that will go back in the freezer. Let me grab my yogurt. So I have 1/2 cup of the Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt. I went ahead and just measured this out when I was making my fruit bowls earlier. And then her recipe calls for 2 large egg whites. I'm just going to do 3 tablespoons. I think that should be about the same. And again, on the blue plan, eggs, egg whites, all that is 0. I'm not sure on the green plan about the egg whites. So I'm just going to do this just like I do my other normal one. I'm going to form it into a big dough ball, and then I will still use my little butter spray to kind of pull the little chunks off, because that's just the easiest way that I have found to handle the 2 ingredient dough. And this looks pretty sticky. I'm going to add just a tad bit more flour in there because it seems way too, it's not going to be like a dough. Okay, and then it says just to roll it out into little 1/2-inch pieces, so I'm just going to spray on my hands like I normally do and pluck it off and see if I can roll it, although it still seems so soft. I knew I shouldn't have added those egg whites to it, but we're just going to kind of go with it and hope that it works. Okay, I'll just use this little baking dish. This is what we had those skewers soaking in water in. I just dried it out, so hopefully this will work.
Why you wanna run away? Why you gotta be afraid? I wish I could make you stay, 'cause baby I love you. Why you tryna break us up when I'm tryna build it up? I wish I could make you stop, 'cause baby I love you. Guess I'm gonna dance alone tonight.
Okay guys, so there is our biscuit dough. I'm just going to set that to the side. I'm going to grab the chicken and see if it is ready to shred up. Okay, so here is the chicken. It was falling apart as I was trying to pick it up, so that's what I love. Especially that Ninja crock pot. Man, does it cook good. You know, last weekend I cooked 2 things of chicken and I had to use my like standard crock pot. It seemed like it cooked so much slower and didn't get near as hot as this Ninja one. And I bought this years ago off QVC. I highly recommend it. It was expensive back then. I think I did like the flex pay or something. But I was like, wow, that's cool. I mean, it has a saute function. And I know my Ninja Foodie I can also use as a crock pot, but it is just not as big on the inside. So if I'm going to use a crock pot function, then I'm just going to use my crock pot. But if something happened to this Ninja crock pot, I would definitely get another one that's just a crock pot. You can see that that chicken is just shredding, no problem. I know a lot of people like to get the hand mixers out, but I feel like that is way too much trouble. All my little animals are coming around. They love shredded chicken. Very hot. Okay, so there's our shredded chicken. I'm gonna grab all the other ingredients and we're gonna throw this together. Okay guys, we are ready to work on the jalapeno popper chicken biscuit casserole. So we just made the biscuit dough. I have the shredded chicken over here, and then I have everything else. I have my diced jalapenos. I have 1/2 cup of almond milk. I decided to go with mozzarella fat-free cheese. My cheddar cheese smelled kind of funny, and I really don't use it that often, so I felt like it was bad, so I threw it away. There wasn't very much left in the pack anyway. This is just a tablespoon of those diced jalapenos. She says to reserve that for garnish for the top. So that's what I have there. And then this is the can of the Healthy Request cream of chicken soup. Yeah, so we are just going to follow the directions in a saucepan. Combine, oh, the cream cheese. I need to get my 4 Laughing Cow cream cheeses. And in the microwave I have the bacon going. That's also for part of the topping. This worked out good because I used 4 of these last week in the chicken enchiladas, and then I can use the rest of them up now. So we are going to just, I guess, turn this on like a low heat. And it doesn't say to spray it or anything, but I'm going to spray it. I'm going to spray it with a little bit of just the extra virgin olive oil spray. So her recipe calls for 4 ounces of a third less fat cream cheese. Instead, I'm just going to use this Laughing Cow Swiss cheese, mostly because it's less points, plus I had it on hand already. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it says to go ahead and put in the diced jalapenos. So we'll go ahead and put all that in. The can of cream of chicken soup. And then basically we just stir this until the cream cheese is melted. Okay, I think that's pretty well melted. Now it says to gradually add in the milk. And then it says to add in the Monterey cheese, which I'm using fat-free cheddar, and stir that until that melts. And then it says to fold in the cooked chicken and then combine it well. Okay, I think that's good. It says now to put the mixture into just a large mixing bowl. This stuff is real sticky. I don't know how this is going to turn out. If I did this again, I would not put the egg whites. I would just make my standard mixture, which I'm just going to kind of put in a few pieces and stir it in. It's just basically going to turn to mush in there. I'm going to try to fold this in as gently as I can. But as you can see, it's really just melting right in there. So we'll see how this turns out. It smells good. So then we need a baking dish. So I'm just going to use this one, like a 13 by 9. I have my oven preheated to 350. We're going to put this in, and then we're going to crumble the bacon up on top and then add the rest of the little hot jalapenos, and we bake it for 30 to 35 minutes. I got to grab my bacon. Okay, so I have 8 pieces of bacon that I have just broken up into small pieces. So we're going to put that on the top, and then the rest of the little jalapenos that I saved over here, which is about a tablespoon's worth. And then it is going to bake in the oven. I am going to get my sheet pan veggies ready to put in the oven at the same time. Okay, there it is. It is ready to go in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes, 350 degrees. And I'm going to get my sheet pan veggies ready too. Okay, my battery's going to die, but I'm going to go ahead and throw these vegetables in here. I basically have these veggies from Sam's Club that I'm going to use. It's a mixture of carrots and red peppers and green beans and broccoli and stuff like that. And I think I'm going to add another little bag of broccoli to it. I'm just going to put it on this sheet pan and use the Montreal steak seasoning on it like I always do, and bake it along with the others. This is the Montreal steak seasoning that I love to use. It's so good. Okay, new battery. So I've got all my veggies on here, and I'm just going to generously season it with this Montreal steak seasoning and pop it in the oven. These vegetables need to be used. They've almost got like freezer burn on them. Okay, so I'm going to pop this in the oven and the casserole for 35 minutes. These may have to stay longer. We'll just see. Okay guys, so the corn is done, and I'm actually just going to store it in this bowl, but before I do, I'm going to add some butter to it and some salt and pepper and kind of shake it up in there, and it makes it have a really good flavor, just that seasoning on there. So I'm just going to use a couple of tablespoons of this Brummel and Brown. It's made with real yogurt. It has 0 grams of trans fat. It's just 45 calories for a tablespoon. I'm not technically going to count it. I'm just going to put 2 tablespoons in here and just kind of let it melt on it, and salt and pepper and stuff like that. And then I'm just going to leave it in this bowl for the week, and then we will just take out what we want to eat the night of. There are 8 ears of corn in here. I will only have 1 per night, but Charlie could possibly eat 2 of them. And then if he doesn't eat them, then we will just freeze the other 2 and reuse them. What am I looking for? So I'm just going to go in with some salt and some pepper. And then this bowl actually has a lid to it, so I'm just going to pop that on there. Normally I use one of my metal bowls, but it's dirty. I have a set that has lids with it. And I'm just literally going to leave it sitting like this and just let it cool. Let that butter melt in there. It's still warm. I just took it out of the pot, but the pot has kind of been off the stove for a little while. But anyway, it, you know, all gets covered and everything. So on the night that I eat it, if I want any more butter, then I will just add some of my butter spray stuff that's 0 calories. So there is that. Here are our sweet potatoes. So 3 of these will be mine and 3 of them will be Charlie's. I'm going to eat the 3 smaller ones and he's going to eat the 3 larger ones. So we're not going to actually put these in a meal prep container either. So the only thing that's really going to be prepped for this meal will be the chicken skewers. I am going to go ahead and take the chicken off of the skewers. And here they are. They are nice and done, looking delicious with the passion fruit and pineapple and stuff on there. So I'm just going to get like 6 of our bowls and just try to take it off and divide it evenly. If I leave it on there, it'll be difficult to take off the night of and hard to reheat, if that makes sense. So let me grab some bowls. So I'm just literally going to take these and pull the chicken and the fruit off with a fork. And we'll probably speed through this because this is going to take me a minute or 2 to get them off. If you've ever cooked on skewers, you know the struggle can be real. That's why we like to go ahead and take them off now. Plus these are completely cool. They've been sitting over there for a little while. Yay, I got one.
Never up, never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong, hoping I'll be fine. But I get up, I always do. I never think, I always do. Never thought I wouldn't jump, oh what a fool. But if I fall, I will get up again.
Okay, so there's those. I will give you a close-up of them. Okay guys, here is the finished container of the chicken kebabs. I just took them off. I think each one of them ended up with 3 full skewers, and then I had 2 skewers left, so I just basically divided those equally among the 3. Of course, on the blue plan, this is 0 points. I'm not going to count the jarred fruit. I'm not really sure if it would be points or not, to be honest. I don't understand the jarred fruit. If you scan any of them, it comes up as points. But since we grilled it and everything, any juices or anything would have cooked out of it. So I'm still going to count it as 0 points. And then we have the baked sweet potatoes for this meal. And then, of course, we have the corn on the cob in here, which I'm just going to keep it stored like this. I just put some butter and salt and pepper in here. And then we will just take these out the night that we eat them and heat it up. I just don't have containers big enough to hold an ear of corn, a baked potato, and a whole thing of chicken and fruit. But this should be a delicious filling meal. Okay guys, I am finally ready to plate up the jalapeno popper casserole and the veggies. That is finally done, although I'm a little unsure how it's going to be. It's not like it, I kind of expected it to puff up a little bit more, but my dough seemed just real gooey and sticky. I think if I was to make this again, I would just rather use the canned biscuits, just because I know when I did that enchilada bubble up, you know, those, I don't know, seemed a little bit fuller. So we'll see how this tastes, but it just looks a little flat to me. So we'll see. I did leave it in for like 3 extra minutes, so I left it in for 38 minutes. And then, of course, the vegetables, hopefully they will be good. So I'm going to tilt you down here. I already have this kind of cut up into 6 equal servings. So yeah, so I just cut this into 6 equal servings, and then I'm just going to place it into these containers. Hopefully it's not stuck on the sides. I didn't check that. But that's what it looks like. I don't know. It smells good. I mean, how can it not? It's covered in bacon. So hopefully it's delicious. I have high hopes for it. I just think I could have done better on my bread.
This time, I've been feeling hopeless till you came around. All this time, you're the only reason I'm not chasing high.
And then here is my veggies. I'm just going to divide it as evenly as I can. And then this will be a 6-point meal.
I don't know, no one ever showed me I've been on my own for too long. But if you hold me now, let me into your heart, maybe I can start to love again and tend to my scars. Can you show me how?
Okay guys, here is the completed jalapeno popper casserole with roasted vegetables. So hopefully this turns out good. I have not tasted it at all. I'm just going to let it be a surprise. I'm not sure if we will eat it tonight for the first time or tomorrow night. I feel like tonight we will eat the sweet potatoes and the corn and the chicken. We'll see. But all we have left to do is to throw together my breakfast and make my cookies. Okay guys, so we are gonna make our cookies, but I am gonna try a new recipe today and see if it works out. If it doesn't, then I'll scrap this whole clip and we'll just make our normal chocolate peanut butter protein cookies. But I have had a couple of requests for some Snickerdoodle cookies. So I just kind of created a recipe. I kind of bought a couple of ingredients and then just kind of made stuff up on the fly. We'll see how it goes. But I am gonna use the PEScience Select in the Snickerdoodle. And I have used this before in the past. I used to use this all the time and make protein waffles and stuff with it. And then I'm also going to use the PEScience Select in the vanilla. I did get the vegan one on purpose just because Athena likes to have a protein shake sometimes, and that way I can put a little bit of this in her almond milk, and she can have her protein shake so that she doesn't have the whey powder. I'm going to put a serving of the butterscotch chocolate chips in there. I know it's not necessarily something that goes into a Snickerdoodle cookie, but that sounded pretty good to me. So we're going to do that, and let's see what else, because I don't have anything else up here. So I'm going to use 1 medium banana, and I'm going to use some unsweetened applesauce, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, some vanilla extract, a couple of tablespoons of coconut flour, and then we're going to see if we need to add egg whites or anything else, because one other time when I tried to make some cookies, I added some egg whites in and they were way too runny because I used the applesauce. So I'm hoping that maybe I don't have to, but if it is a little bit thick or whatever, then we will just put in like a little bit at a time and see how it goes. So let's pray for a good cookie. Oh, I was going to add one more ingredient. I forgot. I have some of the sugar-free cheesecake Jello mix. I am going to put in 5 or 10 grams of that. Let me edit that recipe and see. And this recipe came out to the exact same points as the chocolate peanut butter one. It was 1 point for 2 cookies and then 2 points for either 3 or 4 cookies. But let me add the, I'm glad I remembered that cheesecake because I think that'll be good. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to add in 10 grams of the Jello cheesecake flavor. I don't know if that's going to focus. It's trying to focus on me. There it is. Okay. So I'm sure a lot of y'all have used this to mix it into other things. Let me let that focus back on me now. I hate this camera sometimes. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Let's get to cooking. I'm ready to see how these turn out. I'm excited. And I am over here kind of in a different spot because my counter is full of all kinds of stuff. So we're going to go in with 1 scoop of the PEScience Select Snickerdoodle. I'll have to dig out the little scoop. I just opened this. Of course, it's all the way in the bottom. So there's 1 scoop of that, and now I have to wash my hands. Then we're going to go in with 1 scoop of the PEScience Select Vanilla, and they do just have a normal vanilla. You don't have to use the vegan one. They also have cake batter, which I think that would be good in here as well. Another ingredient is going to be the baking powder as well. I'll do another heaping tablespoon of that, just like I normally do in my other cookies. So we're going to go in with 10 grams of the sugar-free Jello. And then I'm going in with 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. And then I am going to do a tablespoon of the baking powder. And that should be all of the dry ingredients. I'm going to mix those well, just like I do with my other cookies. Oh, I did forget the cinnamon. Let me grab the cinnamon. I need a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. So I just put a teaspoon of ground cinnamon in. Now it's got much more of a cinnamony smell that I was looking for. And then I am going to get another little bowl so that I can mash up my banana. And I have 1 small, really ripe banana left from last week that I was saving to try for this recipe. And so I'm just going to mash this up with a fork. And we're just going to go ahead and put that in. And then we're just going to use one of those little cups of the unsweetened applesauce. And this is just the Mott's unsweetened applesauce. Any brand would be fine. And then I need to grab a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then I think that will be everything except for the butterscotch chips. And we're just going to kind of eyeball that and put a little splash in there. So let's see what our consistency is like and see what we need to add. Which We are going to have to add something. I can tell it's super dry, but I don't think that it's going to be near as many egg whites as what I add in the other cookies. So we're going to start out just a little bit at a time. So I'm just going to start out with like, there, that's 34 grams. I don't know, we might need a lot. The other cookies I tried to make, I was using a different protein powder, and it was awful. They did not turn out good at all. They were super runny. These actually at the moment feel more like a regular cookie dough, but I know it needs to be a little bit runnier. So there's exactly 100 grams of egg whites added. So yeah, I'm going to go on in with a little bit more egg whites. And one thing I do want to say is I know that on the blue and purple plan, egg whites are 0. I'm not sure on the green plan, so if you do use this recipe, make sure, regardless of whatever plan you're on, any recipes that you make, don't just go by what I say or anybody else says. Always plug it into your own recipe builder. But one of my friends that's on the green plan pointed out that, you know, whereas maybe a certain amount of egg whites is 0, but at a certain point it does start to add points. So you want to definitely calculate that, or you could switch and add in a little water to thin it out or something. Now, I think I'm going to stop here. This used 170 grams of egg whites. But I actually feel like that's a good consistency. Hopefully they don't come out too dense. We will see. You know, I'll add just another little splash. I'm just used to my other runnier mixture. But I wanted these to be more like a regular cookie consistency. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that looks good? It smells good. I can smell the cinnamons and apple in there. Hopefully these butterscotch chips taste good in there. I have white chocolate also. So we're just going to put 1 serving, which I think is, yep, 14 grams. Which I think is about 26 chips. There we go, 14 grams. So far I'm happy with this consistency. I'm going to grab my baking sheet and we'll see what we end up with. Okay, check out my new pretty kind of rose gold baking sheet I picked up at Ross the other day. So this will be the first time I'm using it to make these cookies. So I'm just going to coat it good there with the Pam baking spray, which is 0 points. I'm going to get my cookie scoop, which is my little smaller scoop, and we're just going to see, we'll just scoop out 12 and then add to each one if we need to.
Like a light, lighting up in the dark. You make it right, I forgot how to act, it's so classic. Every time you make me nervous and I lose my words. It's been a while since I forgot the most simple words.
Okay, so here's our cookies. They are ready to go in the oven. I have it preheated at 350. I'm going to start with 7 minutes and just check them, but they should be between that 7 to 10 minute range. So let's keep our fingers crossed that these turn out good. Okay guys, we have finished another meal prep. I have it all laid out here. Everything is looking and smelling beautiful. So of course over here I have my 7 containers of fruit with my yogurt. That will be for my lunches this week. For one of our meals we are having the chicken kebabs, which I went ahead and pulled those off of the actual sticks and portioned those out into the 6 servings. And then we are going to have a baked sweet potato each night with that and an ear of corn. There's actually 8 ears in here. I just put some butter in here and some salt and pepper. We are just going to keep it stored like this in the refrigerator. And I don't know, we're probably just going to put this in a big plastic container as well to store, because I don't have meal prep containers large enough to hold an ear of corn and a big sweet potato and the chicken and stuff as well. I did make some new cookies today, so I'm super excited to try them. So far they're looking just like the chocolate cookies, but this is a Snickerdoodle version. It is a little bit different. It has some different ingredients and stuff in there other than just the protein powders. But so far They're smelling good. The last time I tried to make some, they turned out like crap. I tried a different protein powder and it did not work. So I highly suggest, if you want to bake with your protein powder, the Matrix and the PEScience, in my opinion, is the way to go. The PEScience is the only protein powder that I used in these cookies, as you will see as I made them. Here is the jalapeno popper casserole from, I think, Pound Dropper with the roasted vegetables, and that came out to 6 points per serving. Of course, everything over here will be 0. The chicken and fruit is 0 on the blue plan, and the corn is going to be 0. I'm not going to count for that little bit of butter that I put in there. And on the night that we eat it, I'm just going to add some spray butter to it if I want more butter on it. I will just have to see how much my sweet potato is. And so there are 3 smaller sweet potatoes that I'm going to eat, and then there's 3 larger ones that will be for Charlie that he will eat. So I'm guessing 4 to 6 points per night for the sweet potato. And then of course I have my scrambled eggs and my 10 strips of bacon for my breakfast this week. So all in all, super happy with this. Another successful meal prep. Okay guys, we have completed another successful meal prep. Thank you all so much for joining me for another video. We've got our new cookies to try this week. I'm super excited. I will definitely be letting y'all know what I think. I have not tasted them at all yet. I'm going to treat them like the chocolate cookies. I'm going to store them and then just warm them up for 30 seconds whenever I want to eat them. And I will definitely be letting you know. But so far so good. They kind of turned out the right consistency that I was looking for. So we will see how they taste compared to the chocolate cookies. If you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button down below and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. And also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle for you here as well. And I also have a Facebook group. I highly recommend that you join that Facebook group. There's lots of people in there. I post all of my recipes in there now. Recipe cards that you can actually print. I am working on a website, but until then I'm just putting the recipes out there. So if you want easy access to the recipes, they will be in that Facebook group. It is called Finding Our Way. I will leave the name on the screen here for you as well. And Luna keeps popping her little head up here. She's under here on one of the stools. And there is also a direct link in the description box down below to that Facebook group. Also, all of the recipes are linked or typed out for you down below in the description box. Please, please, please check out the description box. I put so much information in there. I filled the whole box up. It will hold 5,000 characters, and on my meal prep videos I use every one of those characters just about. So all of the recipes with points is in there. Now for the Pound Dropper recipe, I'm just going to leave the link to her direct recipe in there. I did make a couple of modifications which you will have seen if you watched it in the video. But I'm just going to leave the direct link for her recipe in there for now. I guess that is it. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next video.